So Batgirl wasn't the only film that got axed within the Warner Discovery merger. We're gonna get into all of that in our new segment, Release It or Axe It, where we are going to be talking about
Play
all
the
of
jingle.
the where we're going to be talking about all of
Is that yet?
the Disney, all of the WB films that were announced since Hamada's when he came on as president of DC in 2018. We're going to go down a list of all of the random fucking movies and series that were announced at whatever, whether it was like fandom or whatever it is, that were probably never going to see the light of day anyway. But we're going to talk about if Warner Discovery and Zaslav should release it or axe it. So, like I mentioned in the beginning, Wonder Twins movie was axed weeks ago, if not like months ago at this point.
Bye-bye.
That was a stupid fucking idea. I have no idea why anyone, which is why I called Hamada a monkey, why anyone thought that anyone wanted to see a fucking Wonder Twins movie.
From the company that brought you the live-action Powerpuff Girls.
Oh my god, like...
Wonder Twins.
No one knows who the Wonder Twins are. No one knows who they are. No one's going to the theater to watch a fucking Wonder Twins movie. So that got axed.
How can you have a Wonder Twin film without the Flash, Barry Allen, Wally West explaining their lore? How can you jump to 3 or 6 type of generations of the Wonder Twins?
It doesn't matter, dude. That was a stupid fucking idea.
Everybody watching this, did y'all really think that DCEU needed to have the Wonder Twins in its origins?
Right, like what the fuck?
Is that what y'all wanted? Please tell me now. Is that what we talk about how there's going to be startups and failures? You know, Marvel did it too. What is Marvel's equivalent of trying to give us the Wonder Twins? Dude, they don't have one because
I don't think they have
stupid.
one.
That's too dumb of a plan. Honestly,
it's
I guess
so
their equivalent would have been if like, hey, let's drop Miss Marvel in Phase 1. At that point, it's like, huh? What? Or hey, you know what? Let's say maybe Inhumans is their equivalent because Inhumans was a trash ass show.
Maybe I would have been really impressed if they dropped Miss Marvel in Phase 1 because it didn't. I think the comic came out in 2012.
Yeah.
So that would have been quite the feat.
But like, hello, like this they were going to give you guys the Wonder Twins,
right? Like,
please.
This makes no sense, and we're gonna get into this. This is why Zaslav taking over is a good thing, guys. This is why it's a good thing. No one wanted to see a fucking Wonder Twins movie. The Trench, we were talking about this behind the scenes. They don't speak. Who cares about a fucking Trench movie? No one. I'm kind of pissed that the New Gods movie got axed, but for where the universe was, it didn't make fucking sense. Shelve it. So let's get into the actual list of films. But before we do that, real quick. So Blue Beetle. A lot of people are wondering if Blue Beetle is still happening. I can tell you from the earnings call, Blue Beetle is still happening. They are very excited about Blue Beetle. They're excited to release it. It is going to be released theatrical first, so we are definitely still getting Blue Beetle. So now, the first one on our list, now even on the earnings call, they did say that this film was still going to be released theatrically. They did say that they were excited about it, but will the Flash movie be released or will they axe it? Chris, I'm starting with you.
So this is what David Zaslav said about Shazam 2, Black Adam, and The Flash. He said, we are very excited about them. We've seen them. We think they are terrific, and we think we can make them even better. So they've all been pushed recently in terms of their release dates. It's all been moved around a little bit. And so the question is, will The Flash get released? I'm still skeptical that this movie is going to get released. It is a huge investment, though. It's a $200 million investment for them, much different than a $90 million investment. So I can see why David Zaslav would want to kind of push and push and push as long as he possibly can. So maybe everything that Ezra Miller has done kind of like leaves the zeitgeist, you know? And, you know, we were having a conversation earlier today about whether or not the general public actually knows about Ezra Miller's misdeeds. And truth be told, they don't. So even if they were to release this film, you know, when is it coming out, James? 2024, 2023?
The Flash is next year, March or April under.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even if they stick to that date, there's a huge group of people who are going to be going to the theater who have no idea that Ezra Miller is a touch crazy, you know? And it's not going to affect the box office of that film. In our tiny little bubble, though, obviously, a lot of us follow the trades. A lot of us follow what Ezra Miller has been doing recently. We're a little more conflicted about supporting a film whose lead is doing all of these terrible things. So the most interesting piece of what Zaslav said, in my opinion, is we think we can make them better. Because it's been shelved and pushed, I think there could be a reality, and I'm just speculating here, where they cut Michael Keaton from the end of the film and replace him with another Ben Affleck Batman cameo. And this kind of like closes off the Walter Hamada DCEU and sets Zaslav up for his, you know, teamed 10-year plan for what he thinks the DCEU should be. So I like I said, skeptical. I think it's likely that this will still get released just because the majority of the general public doesn't know anything about what's happening. So, yeah. I also think it's crazy that if it doesn't get released, we've had like 5 years of news about Michael Keaton returning as Batman, and if it doesn't get released, we never see Michael Keaton return as Batman, which fucking blows my mind. Like, so much hype about Michael Keaton coming back as Batman, and then never see it.
The one thing I remember saying that the Bat Nipples return, I think like in an article or something like that.
Oh gosh.
I think from his suit or something. So I'm like, with Chris, it's like I've seen so many articles about his return and hiding it by his suit and everything else, but like we would never get that. I agree.
So James, I'm sorry that was such a long-winded answer.
No, you're fine.
I'm skeptical that it'll get released, but I think it's likely that it'll get released.
Yeah. Abe, what about you? Release it, axe it.
It gets released for this simple fact that, well, for these two facts. One, the amount of money that was poured into it already. And two, Ezra Miller is a fucking weirdo that needs to be locked up and should never see the light of day again. But this
they need
Flash
help.
Movie,
they just need help. That's
but this Flash movie does allow you to do the ultimate reset of the DCEU very easily without much questions and without hassle. Flashpoint. That's the only reason why I see it still getting released, just so it can be like, Flashpoint's here. All right, all this shit y'all see, we doing it away with it. Welcome to the new DCEU. That's the only thing, honestly.
Dude, you could cast your new Flash first. He could be the first person you recast.
Yeah.
And then they just do like a couple weeks of reshoots for the end of the film. When Ezra Miller comes back to like the present reality at the end of the movie, he's a different actor. And he could just be like, what? You know, and then like, boom, we're off to the races. Like, we don't need to make another Flash movie, but at least we have the new Flash.
What if that's the case that's going on, which is why we haven't heard more shit about it? What if that is the situation? They're like, all right, you know what? I mean, we can't hit the reset button. So yes, Flash is going to get released. I know everybody's upset because it's like, oh, y'all canceled Batgirl, but I understand. I agree with it too. It's crazy in the sense of like Ezra Miller is still going to get this movie out. But for business purposes, it needs to happen so we can move away from Ezra Miller. You know, it needs to happen so you can get the good quality content we want. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm with Ashton. Like, I wish that it could just be Grant Gustin. Like, he embodies everything that the Flash is, that Barry Allen the Flash is to me. But it's just like, with him only wanting to come back for one more season, he's been doing the same role for like 10 fucking years. I think he wants to move on and do something completely different. I think he can definitely like make a cameo because he's still the Flash in the multiverse of DC. so that's still possible. But for him to take over as like DC's movie Flash, I don't know if he'll want to do it. I would love for him to do it, but I don't know. But Vash, tossing it to you. The Flash movie, release it, axe it. What do you got?
I want to comment to what you just said about Grant Gustin real quick. Grant Gustin, at the end of the day, it depends what Warner Brothers slash DC slash Discovery gives him as a pitch if he takes over. Like, what is it? How much money? And also, he gets more in the live action of the big film instead of doing TV, big film. So at the end of the day, it's more of his choice. Does he want to continue that role in more of a higher production and much better VFX? So, does the Flash, the DCEU, and I can't wait to hear their new name instead of DCEU. I wonder if he's going to change the name. Zao, are you going to change that to a better one? But I think, my personal opinion, I think should exit. But as a business person, you should release it. As a fan, I love to see it. A live action Flashpoint. Because we had like a TV version of it, and it was it was, I guess from now on the show, I'm gonna say the word not bad. So that's my word for the show now. So it's gonna be the Flashpoint TV show on the Flash, not bad. But maybe on this live action with Ezra, he's not bad as an actor. He's good at what he does. But as a human being, my guy, you gotta go to like a mental institute, got yourself check out. Hey, we all have mental problems. We all have mental issues that we gotta deal with. We all gotta deal with our own demons. But right now, my dude, you are having everyone deal with your demons. At the end of the day, you gotta get back into your shit. Find out what the fuck is going on there. And like Abe and Chris and James said, the public eye, my fiance don't know much about Ezra. My fiance don't know much about these actors. So technically, if we go to the film, I'm taking her with me or with Sam right here in New York City. At the end of the day, if I go with my girls are going to watch the film. My girl is not going to know anything about these actors, what they have done, who's their past is. I'm the one that actually tells her about these things because I'm part of this world. I'm part of this, that for us, it seems like a big bubble, but for the people that tweets and retweets and everything, we're just a small bubble of 5,000, 20,000 people. We never see a million retweets. Never that shit. Never. It's only a 20,000, maybe 50, maybe 100,000. But we're such a small bubble that has our opinions about this person, about these actors. So at the end of the day, it's more like, what's going on with this movie? Are we going to see it? And the next few months or the next few months before the film is going to be interesting because we're going to hear rumors of a new actor. There's a new actor trying the new suit, stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting that are we going to hear rumors or is he going to come out publicly and say it? Because he knows he has this problem, but he's also trying to fix this in the PR side behind the scenes. Hey, what are we going to do with this guy? So at the end of the day, he's also trying to figure this out as much as we are asking these questions. So he also has this problem that he knows that he needs to deal with. But at the end of the day, he spent already, or his company already has spent $200 million. So you already lost 90 million. You losing another 200 million, it's kind of hard to do. And like A brought up, this is Flashpoint. You can literally change the actor in the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the film once he comes back to our current timeline. And as much as I'm not a big Michael Keaton person, I didn't grow up with that. But like we said in the show, my boy Ben Affleck is my Batman. The same thing with Robert Pattinson. Right now, these two guys are my Batman. And if I could get more old man Bruce Wayne and be OD sad and just get those memes of our boy Ben Affleck, just be tired of just taking that cig, you're like, shit, we gotta go back in that film. Let's go. I'm with my boy, old man Bruce, being tough. Let's go. I'm just getting excited, smiling to think of Ben Affleck back on the big screen as Batman. And this dude is 50 plus years old, just like Tom Cruise. And this man is built when he works out. And our boy J.K. Simmons, just please come back as well, because this man was built and he's old as fuck too. As Jim Gordon, I want to see. So if we can get some version, if we get some version of this after Flashpoint, like he said, a 10-year plan. If you know what you're doing and you already have some ideas, some type of discussion, then release it. If you already know what you're doing, my guy, if you already have a plan because you're a businessman, even though you don't know how to do your choice of words, but you know what you're doing, then go for it. I support you. Because guess what? Marvel phase 1, everybody was asking questions and curiosity. But once phase 2, phase 3 happened, they were like, yo, let's go. And trust in Feige, we do. So yeah, I want to bandwagon in Marvel all the time. Why can we not do the same thing for DC?
Yeah, Zaslav literally, I think this is a perfect time to take over. You have the perfect movie to do it, which is just using Flashpoint to reset your universe and then start the 10-year plan from there. Chris, what were you going to ask?
So before we move on, I just want to ask you guys a question. And Vash kind of already answered the question for me. I would also be incredibly interested to know what chat's answer is for this particular question. And that is, knowing what you know, if the Flash movie gets released, are you going to boycott the Flash movie? Because I know that Ezra Miller is going to get a cut of whatever revenue that movie makes. I personally, and no judgment. Everybody can handle themselves the way they want to. I did not go see the newest Fantastic Beasts films in theater because I did not want to contribute any type of revenue to that production based on everybody involved with that production, right? So that's my question. If it does get released, are you going to see it in theaters, or are you going to wait until it comes out on streaming, or will you never see the film? Will you boycott it completely? I'm just very interested.
So I never answered my release it or axe it, but
I'm sorry.
No, you're good, because this all leads into the same thing. So I'm of two minds of this. The fan in me wants you to release it. I think the smart business decision is to release it, but as a human being, I don't want it to be released because I don't want any revenue going to this fucking psychopath. So it's like I'm of two minds of it. But to answer your question, I will watch it on HBO Max because I have AT&T. I get HBO Max for free. I don't know how long that's going to be in place with the merger happening.
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
But I have it for free anyway, so I'll watch it. Much like Aquaman 2, I will not support this film in theaters. I will not promote it on my platform. I will not talk about it. That is not something. Yes, because of Amber Heard. That is not something that's going to show up on the Seafresh channel ever. So the same thing with that. I will watch it on HBO Max at some point where I can watch it for free, where I don't even pay for HBO Max. So that's my answer.
Abe, what about you, man?
I'm in a similar boat. I'm not paying to go see the movie. I'm going to watch it whenever it hits streaming just because, well, honestly, it really depends. If the Flash movie just does end like we expected to with a possible Flashpoint event, I'll just probably YouTube that however many minutes to just keep it pushing. I'll need to watch the rest of the movie.
Don't say that here.
My fault. I forget I ever said that.
Those are for our private conversations.
Yeah, I probably won't watch the film, to be honest, depending if there are other means to at least get what I want, especially if once social media spoils a movie, that might be all I need. I'm going to be honest with you. Similar, I haven't watched the new Fantastic Beasts movie because I ain't like how they did my guy Johnny Depp. Don't really care enough for the Harry Potter franchise where like I need it. It is what it is. And at the moment, this movie, while it could be important to help reset, it ultimately doesn't need to be rewatched. I don't think there's going to be any substantial replay value for the movie anyway, so I'm not missing out on anything in the first place. So no, I'm probably not going to watch it.
True.
For me,
Vash.
I believe if the trailer and the rumors that weeks before the film comes out or press say, hey, this is better than expected, then I will watch it. Instead, hopefully people understand, I'm going to go on a cruise on a One Piece ship. If people know what that means. I'm going to go be a pirate.
Time to hit the high seas.
Yes, almighty. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. If not, if I get some free tickets from AMC or Stubbs, maybe. But my own money in that aspect, the same thing with Aquaman. At the end of the day, it's just depending on what happens. Because last time Warner Bros. Slash DC said that they're gonna reshoot all the scenes or cut all the scenes of Amber Heard, but like a lot of scenes are with said Jason Momoa, so how you gonna like incorporate stuff like that. So at the end of the day, it's more what is gonna happen on the editing floor and what's gonna happen over on the post-production side. And once we get closer to the film being released, once we see what has happened or said happen, and what has the press junkets and people that have watched the film, the full film of context that we can know for the audience to actually make that better decision, then once we get closer. But I'm in the same boat. I'm like half and half. It depends where we go once that time comes or week comes or day comes.
Yeah, I've heard she's in like 10 to 15 minutes of the film, but it's just like, I don't want her to get anything from my money. Nothing at all. I'm not a fan of how WB handled that situation at all, but that's a completely different podcast.
Yeah.
But let's move on to some of these other ones, and we're definitely gonna fly through a lot of these because some of these just don't make any sense.
Thank you for indulging me, by the way.
No, of course, it was a great question because I wanted to talk about the Aquaman thing too. It's just like, yeah, I'm not supporting that film at all. I don't care if it's under a new leadership. I will not support that film. So yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up. So we're gonna get into some of these stupid fucking ideas that Hamad and his team came up with. So J.J. Abrams was going to have like his own little like pocket universe with the Justice League Dark, right? He was going to make like a Black Superman movie. Well, I'm jumping ahead. So let's start off with J.J. Abrams's Justice League Dark series. Now, I actually think that this is a really interesting project. This is completely different than the core Justice League that we know. It would take place in a completely different universe. You would have potentially Batman and Constantine working together with other members of a team. I think this could be cool. J.J. Abrams is quite skilled at starting franchises, so I think this could have been a really cool idea. So in terms of release it or axe it, not within the 10-year plan, but at some point after that, I'll say fucking release it. Hey, what about you?
I want it.
That's it.
That's all I have to say. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
You want
I don't want to drag it out too much, so I'm just going, hit
I
it
feel for sure.
Understood. I was about to say, a bit anticlimactic because you had all three of us waiting like, no.
I thought Abe was gonna be like, I want it, but it's gone.
Yeah, I was waiting for this.
But it's axe.
That is so dark side type shit to say. No, I really do want it. I guess I will explain a little bit. The supernatural, the occult, the paranormal is my favorite. Some of my favorite genres, and Justice League Dark does that. And if it was a series, W, especially because the next one that we'll mention, I really want. So yeah. I want it.
Chris,
bro, great idea. It's fucking axed. It's gone, dude.
Yeah,
There's
so
no
gone.
way.
It's so gone.
It says you said it's a series. To me, this screams super expensive series with J.J. Abrams attached to it. Bro, this is gone. Done. We're never gonna see this. But I also agree with Abe. I think the supernatural elements of Justice League Dark and Constantine are some of the coolest aspects of the DC universe. So I would love to see something like this, but there's no fucking way it's happening soon. So, axed.
Vash?
Like Abe just said, I want it. But like Chris just said, axe it. Because one, you're not having Matt Ryan as Constantine. Zal, not that you're in charge, put Matt Ryan as Constantine. That's what you like. My boy is literally born to be Constantine. Like, he did such a great job in the Hourverse in his own show. It got canceled, and then he became Matt Ryan in the Hourverse. I feel like he still has the chops to still do it in live action. But for the JJ, what you're doing for Justice League Dark, awesome, great concept. But I believe more in James Gunn doing Peacemaker Season 2 and other content for DC in the future then JJ, I'm sorry. I still have not seen Star Trek of what he has done. What you did in Star Wars, great Force Awakens, but at the end of the day, you had no clear direction. So if you have a script, if you have a concept, cool. But if you have a script and a direction of why you're gonna make it and then go somewhere, unless it's gonna be like a one-off, cool.
So all of these things are in concept. There's nothing. There's nothing
right.
here. So there's nothing to go
just
off
concept
of,
alone,
nothing to speculate.
Then axe it, throw out the window because nobody asked for it, and you just throwing a concept to the wall with a dart and no direction. So out the window, axe it, chop it off, just cut off the legs. That's it.
So Vash already gave his thoughts on Constantine. So Chris, what are your thoughts on a Constantine movie? And here's the thing, like Vash already said, it was going to be a Constantine movie without Matt Ryan, which I think is fucking sacrilege. This dude is John Constantine. He voices Constantine in the animated movies. He's all throughout the Arrowverse. Fucking Legends of Tomorrow pretty much dedicated a season and a half to John Constantine's arc because Matt Ryan is so fucking awesome. So for the gall of Hamada and his team to like, yeah, we're gonna make a Constantine movie, but fuck Matt Ryan. That completely pissed me off. So what do you think? Release it? Axe it?
Bro, it's axed. This is gone. Matt Ryan is one of those actors, like you just said, who was born for this particular role. Just like Robert Downey Jr. was born to play Iron Man and Charlie Cox was born to play Matt Murdock. So, again, I like the supernatural stuff in the DC universe, but this hasn't even gone into production yet. This shit is axed, bro. It is gone.
Abe, what about you? What do you think?
I want a Constantine with Matt Ryan. I want it. That being said, the shit that they was playing for us, yeah, get that shit out my face. Don't give me that nonsense. Don't give me that nonsense. You're wasting my time.
Matt Ryan,
but I still can't wait for that Constantine film. I'm saying Constantine because that's how they say it in the Sandman. I still want that Constantine film though. Like y'all hit me with that shit. I needs it. Especially since it will definitely be connected to the Justice League Dark series that I will need in the future. So give me both of them, even though they're not happening anytime soon. But we will get them.
Another one that they announced that would have been in this universe, a Zatanna movie. Now, I love Zatanna. I fucking love Zatanna as a character. No one wants to see a fucking Zatanna movie. No one knows who Zatanna is. Unless you're a comic book fan, nobody knows who Zatanna is. So if you're Zaslav, what do? Release it or axe it? I'm fucking axing it. Vash, what about you?
Axe it. Axe that shit. Throw that shit. You know what? It got poof away.
Got dusted. A, what about you?
They have a better chance of making her one of the main focuses of the Justice League Dark series, honestly. You know, they build her up that way. The solo movie doesn't make sense unless you build her up properly to where you see a demand for like, hey, give us a solo story. Cool. But even then, won't it be a team-up movie at the end of the day? So, Zatanna, I love you, shorty. I do. I love how all your spells is backwards. I think that'd be really dope because we could get Missy Elliott on the track. You know, she can do her. She can get all that shit going. But nah, not now. Bye.
Look, DC, if you want to actually do a Justice League Dark, do the reverse. Do the Avengers team up, and then do your spin-off series where everyone falls in love with Constantine, Zatanna, Swamp Thing with your characters, and then have a Zatanna movie, Swamp Thing series, where people want to know more of these characters that you just showed in this type of Avengers team up, but Justice League Dark. But then you spin off and do more of a solo film, but then have some of these characters still in it. Like, it just works. So, like, you literally had a Justice League Dark animated movie. It wasn't perfect. It had its flaws, but you had Deadman. You have, you have Swamp Thing. You had all these characters, and you have Batman. That's how you market it. You can literally copy it and paste that in the live action. Just switch up the roster. You cannot go wrong.
And it was rated R.
That too. So it just works out perfectly. But Chris, axe it, because you are definitely have to axe it.
Boys, I'm going to need to go get my body spray because the shit is axed. Zatanna's axed.
Yeah, it's fucking gone, bro.
Sir.
Abe's like, I hate you so much
Sir.
right now.
We went 2 hours and 18 minutes
Sir.
without that joke. And literally, I'm not.
Sir.
I'm shocked that it wasn't me at least, but Chris said the joke.
I didn't
impressed.
think any of us would have the audacity to make that joke, and so I was going to live my life just peacefully and with no.
But aren't you a better person having heard it now, Abe?
No. At this point, I think I need to resort to recreational activities. I can't believe
I'm
you.
sorry.
Right,
I'm sorry.
I really. Why? You know what? At least you got it out the way now, right?
Right.
He did. I thought, I'd save it for the third one. We have so many to go.
Oh, don't worry.
You know what? I'm actually glad you didn't do it for Justice League Dark or Constantine because that would have hurt me.
Oh, let's
You can do it for this.
chat. We're gonna keep going. The rest of these are even more ridiculous. Let's keep going, right? They were gonna make a Madame Xanadu series, and if you don't know who that is, no one else knows who the fuck Madame Xanadu is. They don't know. You don't know. This doesn't make any sense. Another character that you should introduce if you make a Justice League Dark series. To give a series to Madame Xanadu, this makes no fucking sense. So, axe it. Chris, release it or
Axe, bro. Axe, bro. Bye-bye.
Abe. Vash.
Actually, because I know most characters in Marvel DC Comics. When it comes to other publishing companies, is like, who heard of it? Once James said this, and I just look in the show notes and I had to search up, I probably have seen it once or 5 times in my life in a spread or just random pop-up. But honestly, for me or most of us or anybody that have heard of it, that's praise to you, because who the fuck is this character? Exit.
And Ashton,
I'm not going to put a time code for it.
We're nerds. We know this shit. We know these characters. But general audiences has no idea who the fuck Madame Xanadu is. Let's continue. The Black Hawk movie. This actually could be interesting.
I was going to say, this is actually one that I really would have liked to see. It would have been cool.
Yeah, think of it as DC's like Red Tails, right? Like,
Yeah.
this could have been a really, really cool movie, although I don't trust Hamada to do it well. So again, I'll say something similar to what I did to the Justice League Dark series. After the 10-year plan, after we see where the state of things are, give me that Black Hawk movie. So I'm going to say release it. Chris, what about you?
Oh, man, you're saying release it. Again, I would have liked to see this movie. It would have been a cool period piece set in like the 1940s, probably during World War II, most likely. This Black Hawk movie is totally getting axed. But whatever they envisioned this one to be is gone. But again, who's to say? Down the line in this 10-year plan, anything could happen. So maybe in the future, that would be excellent. But this bad boy is getting axed.
Yeah. Abe?
Look, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know shit about the Blackhawks, so I could care less whether it's released, axed. But for the sake of this segment, throw that shit in the trash. We'll revisit it later, I guess, because again, I'm looking at them like, all right, so they have something in Rebirth, but nothing substantial. So it seems like the majority of their good times together was in their original incarnation. It seems like DC themselves haven't really managed to do too much with them as of recently. So ask that motherfucker. And then when I learn about it, maybe I'll change my mind.
Vash?
I would love to see it happen, but this version, that when it was announced and the concept, exit. But I would love to see the future concept of this in the 10-year plan or in the 20-year plan or whatever phase 3 they want to call it, in their own type of style. Because Uncle Sam, to actually see this character in the comics and actually just have a live action version of him and other characters that we've seen in the comics, Wonder Woman, we have seen Hawkman, Hawkgirl interact with Black Hawk. So to actually see this happen, like, you could do a property with this, and I would like to see it as a series. I think a good 8 episodes, 6 episodes
cool.
solid will be pretty interesting. A little like airplane action, like Top Gun Maverick. but with a comic skin on it, it would be fantastic. You know what? Have Tom Cruise. He's still got another 10 years to do some action films. Have Tom Cruise be in Black Hawk right there. That's
Movie
just-
make $1
right
billion.
there. That's it. You see, and don't have a streaming service. Don't announce that either, guys.
From what it looks like, it just be Top Gun all over again. But I guess why not?
It's set in the 40s.
Top Gun has done so well. So let's give him his prequel series.
You see? I'm telling
you.
you.
I guess.
I just, your DC, if you want to hire me, let me know.
So let's keep going here. So, like I alluded to earlier, J.J. Abrams was also going to make a Black Superman movie. This was kind of simultaneously announced with a Michael B. Jordan produced Black Superman movie. His Superman movie was going to be Val Zod, and I believe that J.J. Abrams was going to follow along with Calvin Ellis's story. So starting off with the J.J. Abrams Black Superman movie, what do you think? Release it, axe it.
Dude, this is a movie.
Throw it out.
Chris, starting with
Do you
you.
think it's gone, Vash?
Oh, sorry.
This is the movie that has the most prestige attached to it on this list. I don't think it's going to get made, but that's kind of a tragedy.
Yeah.
Based on who was writing it. Yeah, but I think because it was greenlit during the old regime, Zaslav is just like cleaning house on everything. So I don't think this movie's going to see the light of day. Axed.
Yeah. Vash?
This axe, because one, when it comes to certain characters or certain ethnicity, it should be written by set people. If you're gonna write a Black Superman, it should also be written by people as like a Black person.
I mean, it was. Ta-Nehisi Coates was writing it.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like it should be directed as well. Like, and JJ, I don't feel like he'll be the right person for that aspect and concept for it. And overall, nobody asks for it right now. And without clear direction, unless you were going to be like the Batman or like the Joker, like in a whole different universe, then sure. But again, it was all concept. It was all probably like a whole board meeting concept idea thrown there. But at the end of the day, just ask that. That's it.
Yeah. Abe?
Look, a majority of y'all motherfuckers, and not you guys, but the general public, didn't even like Man of Steel. Yo, regular white old Clark Kent hasn't even been done that well on the big screen to where everybody could be like, yo, we've had a fire Superman movie. What? All of a sudden you have confidence that a Black Superman movie is going to be done really well and better than it's not happening. If they can't do Clark Kent right, I don't expect them to do these two right. Michael B. Jordan, I love you. I still don't expect it to be a popping ass movie until they do right by Clark Kent. So ask both these shits.
That's pretty much going to be my answer too. Yeah, just ask them both. Like, as excited as I am for Michael B. Jordan to be producing a Val Zod Superman movie within the 10-year plan, with everything going on, with needing a reset of the DC universe, it's not the time. So I'd say axe it. So I'll say axe to both. Chris, what about you? Would you just say axe the other one too?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I like Michael B. Jordan, this movie's not getting made.
Yeah. Vash?
Axe thrown out. As much as I love,
You're on mute.
Oh, my fault. Overall, axe it. He should not be. Like at the end of the day, I want you to succeed, but you should do properties that there's a direction. That's all.
Yeah.
Also, to clarify, he was producing the movie.
Correct.
He wasn't set to star as Superman, right?
Right.
Yes.
He was just producing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, he in interviews, of course, everyone was asking him, and he's flattered, but he wouldn't want to do it. He was just producing it. The Batman 2. This is an easy one. We know this is being released, so we can all...
Bro, axe, dude. It's gone.
So we can all say that one's getting released.
No,
now,
this one's definitely coming out.
This next one, this hurts me, and I'm going to say release it right now. But Green Lantern Corps, J.J. Abrams, and I believe Greg Berlanti also had some involvement in this in the early stages, where they were planning to do a Green Lantern Corps series on HBO Max.
Yeah.
I think a Green Lantern movie was always a mistake. I think a series getting to actually explore Oa, what it's like to be a Green Lantern traveling space and being the space police while simultaneously trying to balance a life on Earth. I think you do that in a series. Release that shit right now. I want it. I kind of alluded to it earlier. After the reset with the Flash movie, I think it would be great to start off with the Green Lantern Corps. You instantly get Earth, and you get the entire galaxy as like a placemat for the universe. This is where it starts. The Green Lantern Corps, they're essentially the space police. This is his sector. He checks all of these different planets, protecting them. This is the beginning, but Earth is his home. Would be a great way to start off the new era of the DCU, is what I'll call it for now. So I think you release this. Chris, what about you?
I agree with you. I think this would be a cool like cop drama, of space cop drama. That's like the perfect way to handle the Green Lantern Corps. However, this was the show that was going to have Guy Gardner as the main character, and you have way better Green Lanterns to draw from. So, truth be told, I've actually heard that this was kind of like legitimately quietly axed behind the scenes, and they never even told anybody that they canceled it. So this Green Lantern Corps is getting axed, but I hope that we get a good Green Lantern series in the future or movie.
Abe?
I remember early on seeing rumors that this movie would probably be like focused on Sinestro, as he was a Green Lantern before his fall. And I thought that was a genius idea. Like let's start us off with Sinestro. Make this whole season 1 be about the rise of the Yellow Lantern. That would have been cool. Dope, because you're right. A space cop drama, why not? How many cop dramas exist out there that people love, and you just now do it in space? I did not know that it was going to have Guy Gardner be the main focus. So as a result, I would have said release it, but with Guy Gardner, that's not my GL. Ask that shit if you're gonna do Guy Gardner, because there are legit better options.
I'd rather have a fucking Kilowog show before I have a Guy Gardner show.
Like
facts, bro.
Y'all understand? Y'all know my favorite DC storyline, top 5. My number 1 is Blackest Night. You do a GL series very well, you can cover Blackest Night. You can give me what I want, even if you limit it just to space and you don't include all the other heroes. Like, it'll be DC's version of how Marvel, the MCU did Civil War, except you can still tell a lot of stories just from the space aspect of Blackest Night with those heroes. You can still give us a lot of characters and whatnot.
Dude, I still have a shit ton of Blackest Night floppies like in a closet somewhere in my house from when it was coming out. That series was awesome.
Would have been fire. So
I'm with Mark. Give me Jessica Cruz, bro. I mean,
you could.
John Stewart is my GL, but I want him a part of the Justice League. As far as a series, Jessica Cruz would be amazing, because there's so much of her backstory into becoming a GL that you can do so much of that in a series. It would be perfect.
And her character itself is so intriguing to follow from like a relatable aspect of being just a human being, because it's not like she had her life together. She was struggling.
Yeah,
she was struggling I remember during early Rebirth, like she was struggling to even use the ring. She had so much self-doubt. It's like, this is typical of stuff that we experience. I would love to see her on the small screen.
Right now, especially, that's like incredibly relatable.
Yeah,
after the pandemic and everything.
Yeah. So release it, but not with Guy Gardner as a lead, please.
Facts. So this next one, I just don't understand. So Vash, you didn't go? Go ahead.
Green Lantern Corps, I just want people to know, it got announced in 2014. It was originally supposed to be released in 2018. Just to give that people a quick reminder that this was supposed to be released 4 years ago, and it's been pushed and pushed. What I wanted, hell yes, for the rumors that what it is could have been Sinestro and everything. Gary Garner, hey, I fuck with the dude. He's that bad. But at the end of the day, Hal Jordan, John Stewart, those are the ones that we should give first. Like at least one of them, and at least they're putting Shining the animated side with Green Lantern, Beware My Power, John Stewart being the main lead. I'm happy overall. Yeah, give it him. But if you're gonna give light to some characters that are not as popular or what you are scared to do in live action in the animated side, do much better. Also, marketing as well for that. That's all I want.
Even Kyle Rayner would be a better choice.
That too, like
Guy Gardner's the fucking worst.
That's just my side note for the Green Lantern topic, because they do a lot of stuff in the animated side, but do much better.
Animated
marketing.
isn't good enough. It's like
I know.
it's like
just
putting,
overall. I'm just saying
it's
overall.
like putting Vixen on CW Seed. Like it's not good enough.
Oh.
Like I need like a actual like Vixen. I don't need Vixen to have a show, but the way she was handled on Legends of Tomorrow, I'm not the biggest fan of, and I was so
Agreed.
fucking happy when she was gone because they just kind of like ruined it for me. But like I was saying, that this next one, I have no idea. Much like Madame Xanadu and like Zatanna and Blackhawk, who the fuck's going to watch a Lobo movie? Axe this shit right now, Chris.
Axed. Moving
Vash.
on.
Axe, as much as I love Lobo, do like an animated or anything. Nobody. Maybe if you've been out for 10, 20 years of doing great live action and then set up maybe a Suicide Squad, then do a Lobo film, because that'd be a great addition. But this current, nah, Axe it. Do another 20 years of content, then and then talk to us later.
Abe?
I'm not gonna lie to you. You should release it only because I see potential for a comedy like badass cop movie that is just standalone. It would
Ooh, like
work.
Deadpool?
Yeah, he could be like a Deadpool.
It could
Yeah,
work, man.
yeah.
I just want to see it so I can see my man's on the big screen on his face, Mike. You feel me? I'm just trying to see what's good with it. So, release it for my sake. I'm going to say release it. Like,
All right.
I agree with you. Now with your feedback, I actually wouldn't mind to see Lobo, even though like a Guardian of the Galaxy-esque with Deadpool.
Yeah, I could
That'd
see
be
that.
cool.
I'll watch
Again,
it.
it's
I'd watch it.
standalone film. It doesn't need to connect to a standalone
With Men in
film.
Black.
It's a comedy
I just
movie.
don't see people
But
going
mind
to
you,
the
this is me
theater
saying a comedy
to
movie.
watch this. Like,
I mean, this is the one you go direct to streaming. I'm not gonna lie, you
But Zaslav isn't going to do that.
yeah. And then how much money do you
No.
even
But the old
spend on it?
regime was.
Because they're fucking idiots. Moving on, an untitled Jared Leto Joker project. Now, I am one of those people. I am in the minority. I liked Jared Leto's Joker. I think he did not have enough screen time to truly bring that Joker to life. I thought what he was starting to do was interesting. The one thing about the Joker that he perfectly captured was you never know when the Joker is going to hug you or cut your fucking head off. And I think he did a great job juggling between the two. Now, do I want to see a standalone Joker movie with Jared Leto? No, because I think this Joker needs Batman. And if it's not Batman, I think he needs something else to play off of that's like a main member of like DC, right? So they're not going to do that. So I say axe it. Chris, what about you?
Boys, it's Morbin time. I think WB Discovery needs to cancel everything that they're currently working on and solely focus on making this Jared Leto project. No, this is axed. Get this out of here. Nobody wants this. And I broke Abe. He's gone.
Oh my God. Vash, what about you? Do you want this Joker movie with Jared Leto? Release it, axe it.
I really don't know what to think right now because of what Chris said. Like right now in my head, it's just saying it's morphing time. It's morphing time. Power Ranger time. I like my head is just going on a clockwork. So I'm trying to grab my thoughts. I'm sorry about that, James. But Jared Leto, Joker. The best scene that he's done as his version of Joker is literally the post-apocalyptic. I don't know why, but some people hate it, some people love it. I like it, or I prefer it is the word for it. Like
when he's talking about Batman giving him a reach around.
Yeah, like I don't know, the whole conversation, it was good.
Best
And
Joker.
Hey, it's not perfect, but I just like the way he just was in his part. Like, hey, you needed my help and you asked for it, Bruce. It's just the way he just knew his identity and everything else. It's just
I dig
pretty
it
cool.
too. I dig it too.
And he
But-
knew how to push his buttons. That's
Yes.
also something that you need for the Joker. The Joker knows exactly how to push every single button that Batman has, and with that scene instantly, you got it. He has it, dude. He can be a good Joker. He wasn't on screen long enough.
He just needs to pull back his personality because, like, my dude, if you're gonna do your morphing,
You're Morbin.
I don't want to say. No, I'm good. I'm just go morphing. If you want to do that, just do not send rats to your co-stars. Like, yo, like, I get it. You're doing your skit.
His
But at the same
method
time-
acting is fucking stupid. I don't know how it helps him. Like, people that stay in accents, people that stay in character for, like, the whole shoot, that's different. But, like, him trying to be the Joker and sending people use condoms and rats and snakes and shit, like, how does this help you build your character? How does this help your co-stars feel that you're the Joker? And, of course, they played it up to make it sound like, oh yeah, he's fucking crazy like the Joker, but Margot Robbie did not enjoy.
It's so fun when I receive used condoms. Like, I'm so
Right,
happy
like,
about
that's
being this
fucking
person's co-star.
ridiculous.
Gross.
Yeah, but Vash, any last thoughts on the Joker movie?
Nah, when it comes to the point, we don't know if he's gonna be part of the 10-year plan. So current thoughts, love to see it as a fan, but right now, my guy, I'm sorry. It's morbing time. You got to get out of here.
Abe, did you go?
I'm sorry,
We'll
Abe.
go after these two decide to do Morbin time jokes, but funny enough, I've always said that, like, every iteration of the Joker I've come to appreciate and enjoy, because I think the Joker is such a complex character that you can capture him in so many different ways and still be fucking accurate.
Totally.
My favorite to this day, my favorite version of the Joker actually is Mark Hamill. You know, I love how crazy it is. My favorite look of the Joker actually comes from the Batman cartoon, not BTAS, but the other one that you were going to start soon, JB, because I love that look.
I started it.
And I thought that Jared Leto could probably do something good with it. But unfortunately, Morbius exists. And while I have not watched the movie, everything about the trailer, everything about the reviews told me that, you know what, maybe this was a blessing that we won't get to see Jared Leto as Joker, because maybe he just doesn't have the acting chops. And I don't want to come here and be like, damn, this is the worst Joker I've ever seen. So ask that shit. And please, let's move on so I don't have to any more Morbin jokes.
All right, so we got two more on the list that I wanted to talk about, guys. So, Static Shock movie. I think you fucking release this ASAP. Static Shock is one of my favorite cartoons, period. If you watch Static Shock today, it is still, everything that they talk about is still relevant today. Static is such an incredible hero. I love watching his struggles and watching him overcome them. I would love a Static Shock movie, and I want it right now within the 10-year plan. So release it. Chris, what about you? Release it.
Dude,
ASAP.
I would also love a Static Shock movie. I love that cartoon growing up. Again, just like everything on this list, this Static Shock movie is not getting made. It is getting axed. But fingers crossed we get a Static Shock movie in the future, because that would be awesome.
Abe?
I would like a standalone Static Shock film. I think that it could have been done relatively well because of prior iterations. I think the source material is right there. We could have gotten a really good story. But I would be more excited to see it happen in the new DCEU. So let's shelve it for the time being, and we'll revisit in like 10, 15 years.
Vash?
Abe said it very well, what my thoughts were, and I want to add, wait, because right now the Static Shock comic, the season 1, I think it was 12 issues, and is the writing, the art is fucking peak. It's like so good, and I can't wait to see how much more it evolves and grow. But by the time the Static Shock film comes out, we most likely have like a season 4 of the comic run. Right now, it's in current production for season 2, with the artist putting so many type of variations of his actual costume, his suit. Wait for the film to get more inspiration from the comic side so we could put something beautiful in the film. Because Static Shock, what James said, even though the animation for the cartoon at the time is outdated, but the story holds itself. The current message of our boy Richie and his father, when Richie and Virgil got lost, or I think it was kidnapped at the time, and both parents had to talk and try to find them, and also spoke about a racist topic. With that going on in that episode, is one of the most popular and most watched episode of Static Shock because of the stories and message it hits. So I'm happy that the current people that greenlit this property are gone, because most likely who knows how the film could have been made or what type of messages. So maybe in this 10-year plan, it could have a better direction. And even though the current concept could stay, but hopefully it continues being there with the good message and direction of what it could bring. Because we have so many good property from Static Shock that we could continue, because who also needs more shine? Icon and Rocket. So I would love to see those type of characters and properties from the story and world of Milestone. So in that mix things of I said, even though current film, accent, but concept transfer over to the 10 film plan. That's my overall thoughts.
Yeah,
and that's the beautiful thing. The Milestone universe that we will be getting. I know we will be getting that. That is definitely in the plan. So I'd rather us wait and it get done properly, or else we would be complaining about this shit forever.
Yeah, I would love for us to review Static Season 1 from Milestone, the new run. It's fucking incredible, dude. Oh my god.
Agree.
But yeah, man, Static Shock means a lot to me, and I'm glad that Hamada doesn't have his grubby little hands on it, and he can't fuck it up, because I actually want this to be a good movie. So last
he can't
one,
hurt you anymore.
He can't. So last one that I wanted to talk about, release it or axe it, the Black Canary movie. This would reportedly see Journey Smollett reprising her role from Birds of Prey, which I actually think is a good movie. I really like Birds of Prey. It was pretty much Harley Quinn Deadpool. I thought Ewan McGregor was incredible as
Dude,
Black
he's wild
Mask.
in that movie.
Yeah, wild, terrifying. I think he was awesome. In terms of a Black Canary solo movie, I don't see the point in it, really. I would have Black Canary show up in a bunch of different things. I would greenlight a Green Arrow movie, put her in it. If you made a Young Justice movie, I would have her train the Young Justice team. That's what I would have her do. So as far as a straight up standalone Black Canary movie, I don't think that's a good idea. Axe that shit. Chris, what about you?
Axe, dude, this one's gone. It's related to the old DCEU.
Yeah. Abe?
I don't really care for it. Journey Smollett, I like your portrayal, but I don't know what you could have done for me here. I don't think Black Canary has been done very well on this screen, big or small. I'd rather you build up the important characters that lead you to Black Canary and then help her bounce off and strongly from there on out. So right now she has no strong foundation to really call. I mean, Birds of Prey was not that bad. I'll say that Birds of Prey was not that bad, but I need her to have a better jumping point than that film.
Yeah, Vash?
I feel bad, but I really wanted to get Axe. Sorry, not want. I think it should. I would love to still see her play her character in the next 5 years or 6 years. I feel like the actress was the better version of Black Canary that we have had. I think we only had 3 versions so far in the live action side, but I feel like she did the best role for the Black Canary for what we have had only. But it depends if we're going to continue getting Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn in this next 10-year plan of what they have planned. So if she does come back in the future, I would like to see a solo, but I don't think if she was solo, just her. Maybe we should get our boy Green Arrow on screen, see the dynamics of her character, because a lot of her character revolves around his character. And also, around their city. So stuff like that could happen, but a whole type of solo film, like Abe said, there's no ground for it. We just saw her in a film of Margot Robbie in good chemistry, but it wasn't a lot of information for us to get a spin-off. So as much as this would be a great introduction of her character, let's wait for a better direction before we try to make a solo film of a character of a grand audience don't even care about.
Yeah, man, it's just when you look at all the point of this, looking at all of these films that were previously just announced, right? There is no clear vision. There is nothing. There's just a bunch of random fucking movies that they just looked at a list and just like, fucking that one. We can put a woman in that one. We can put a black woman in that one. We can put a Latina woman in that one. We can put some darkies over here. That's the only thing that they're thinking about, dude. The only thing they care about is just putting out fucking movies with POCs so that they can be fake woke and people don't have to talk about it on the timeline. It's fucking ridiculous. There is no clear vision at all. There is no cohesion. The only thing that has cohesion would have been the J.J. Abrams Justice League Dark like pocket, right? Because you would have had a series and some movies sprinkled in. But there is nothing here except a bunch of random fucking movies that will do nothing for DC as a whole.